Passing has fallen off a cliff in the NFL this year, and P.S. the data is way worse than what you think. Let's take former MVP Josh Allen for example. Last night he threw 22 passes for only 213 yards. Let's be real, 200 passing yards in the modern day NFL just doesn't sound like a lot because it's not. I mean, when we take a look back at 2020 when passing was at its peak, teams were averaging 255 passing yards per game. And through 2 weeks so far this year, we've seen teams average only 210 yards per game. That's a dip of 23 yards per game just compared to last year. That's the sharpest year-over-year dip that we've seen in 30 plus years. And if it stays this way, we're on pace to see the lowest league-wide passing average since 1993. And what's wild is when you look at the distribution of teams that are averaging around 200 yards passing or less, you see at the peak in 2020, it was only around 10%. But in 2025, it's nearly 45%. So this isn't just a few offenses struggling. This is a systematic issue, and here's why. First reason has to be the too high revolution that we're seeing with defenses and coverages now in the NFL. Too high safety looks on pass plays has jumped from 44% in 2019 to 63% in 2024. And so far in 2025, it looks even higher than that. And if you don't know, a Tampa 2 or a cover 2 defense really focuses on those two safeties in the back covering the deep half zones, and then that middle linebacker also covering deep to shut down explosive plays. This then forces the offense and the quarterback to play really in that short to intermediate range in front of them. So basically, we're seeing a systematic shift in killing explosive plays and forcing quarterbacks to dump it off and have short gains down the field. Second reason has to be quarterback experience. Veteran quarterbacks are just aging out, and new guys are stepping in and getting drafted every year. The league is littered with a bunch of inexperienced first year or second year guys that are facing these post-snap disguises. I mean, just look at this list. Half of the league is the age of 26 or younger. So these guys are unexperienced, unprepared, and honestly, not to their fault. These defenses are just kind of tricking them. And to me, the third reason has to be the pass rush has just become vicious. You have veterans like Trey Hendrickson and TJ Watt who are still wrecking the game. And then you got young guys like Micah Parsons that seem to keep getting drafted year after year after year. So teams are generating pressure fast, therefore the quarterbacks have to get the ball out of their hands quick. This doesn't allow deep routes to develop, and therefore you have much more shorter gains. And the data shows this because you see that the completion rate is going up year after year, which makes sense because you're doing shorter passes left and right, easier completions. But you can see the average depth of target, which means the amount of yards that the ball is thrown to a wide receiver, it's dropping significantly, which means quicker passes, shorter routes, yada, yada, yada. So this isn't just a slump. This is a schematic shift that we're seeing year after year. And it's crazy to think about because the NFL is known for passing. Modern NFL is all about the wide receivers and quarterbacks, but the data is kind of showing differently. Let me know what you think. Do you think we'll see a continuous decline in the passing yards, or are we going to have another boom like we did in 2020?